Hi. Oh, hold on, I have to show you something. It's a secret. You know when you're like manifesting something and then you get it, but you're like, I should have been more specific. So I was like, I really need like a small ironing board. I mean, or I guess a big fold out one, but really it would be good to have just for when I do sewing projects or whatever. But then I found this. And it's like a very, very small ironing board. It has hot glue on it. Everything in my life has hot glue on it. I feel like somebody maybe made this, which isn't like the worst idea. So that's funny. Okay, so I have this bench, insert B-roll, in my room at the end of my bed, and I wanted to put some pillows on it. Look how hideous this is. So I ran out and I found the most hideous pillow I've ever seen. Anyway, so I went out, I got pillows. I was like, okay, I'm gonna recover these pillows. But I also have like pretty limited sewing skills, and I don't know how to put a zipper in. I did see like an envelope. This is like an envelope cover, but it was still gonna take some YouTubing. I was like, I've been kind of putting it off. I've also had like other projects, and I've been trying to do this bedroom, like, I don't want to call it a reno because I feel like renovations involve like a sledgehammer, but just like a resurfacing. I've been trying to do it like, okay, let's see how much of this I can do secondhand, cheap, you know. Like I found the pillows, but then it took me a while to find the fabric, and now I found fabric. So all of this, is it all in the picture? All of this is thrifted, but I've been kind of dragging my feet about making it. And then I was watching Rachel Maxey's channel, and she was making a pillow and blah, blah, blah. And she just ended up like ripping the pillow open and using the stuffing. And, you know, I had this whole like plan where I was like, well, if I can remove the pillow cover, I can wash it. But the thing is, I want to paint or make some kind of design on the outside, so it's not really going to be washable anyway. So I was like, F it. Trying not to swear. I'm trying to swear less because monetization. I don't know what the rules are. If you know the rules, drop them. I tried to do a Google. It wasn't clear. So I'm just going to cut these babies open. And, you know, this isn't my usual miniature content, but who cares? I figure if I'm just doing it, I'll put it on the camera, and if there's anything good, then we'll post it. I'll share it, right? If you're here, you probably like making stuff. You probably are into home reno. You're probably a real cool, sassy person. All right, so step one is that I'm gonna iron everything. All right, so this is relatively ironed. I think this is my plan, is that I'm gonna measure this because that will indicate about the amount of stuffing that I need. And then I'm gonna cut it and sew it and stuff it. I think I'm gonna paint it before I actually stuff it. I think I'm gonna sew 3 sides, slip in like a piece of cardboard or something to protect it, paint it, and then sew it up. That's the plan. But first we need to measure. Okay. I mean, I guess. So there's like a bow in it, right? So I guess I'm gonna measure it with the roundness, you know, versus, I mean, I think even if I do it this way, it'll be, it's probably like an inch more with the roundness. So I'm gonna go with that round number because again, I feel like I want the same stuffing. And like I bought these pillows and I pretty much just like the size and style and stuff. So, all right, so this one's 13. by 14. And then we'll add a seam allowance. Actually, I'll get my big cutting mat, I think. I do have a rotary, like, which is cool, but it's not very sharp. Okay, I went on a voyage through Middle Earth, and I'm back. I have my handy dandy cutting mat, which I talked about in my miniatures must have video. Mostly worked. Just took a little elbow grease. Had to grease up my old elbows. My elbows are nice and greasy now. I think this one I'll cut with scissors though. I'll cut it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Yeah. Very excited about this pillow project and like how easy it is. Also, the fact that I'm like doing a house project and I'm also getting some content out of it. So first of all, let's talk about my outfit. Since I'm sewing today, I decided that I should wear this are we willing to call this a dress? It was in the Halloween section at Goodwill. It's actually, and it snowed last night. Okay, so since I last saw you, I made a couple illustrations on my iPad. They're right here and here. And then I made a line drawing of the illustration and printed it out. And basically I took the pillow to figure out the size. I took the pillow because of course it's going to be domed. My nose is very like leaking right now and we're just going to have to all be okay with that. And I just tried to like measure the flattest area. So for this one, I was like, okay, it's about 9 by 9, 8 by 8, 9 by 9. And then I printed it out, kind of cut it out, and placed it to see if I liked how it was gonna fit, which for this one and for the detail and stuff, I think that that's gonna be a really good size. So it's really good that I didn't take those pillows apart, because if you look, like this one doesn't look that bad. But if you look at it on this one, it looks so small. Like, but when I hold it up on here, it actually, I think it looks really good. So, so it's good I have that reference. Okay, so take your line drawing and flip it over backwards. Maybe y'all remember this from grade school. And you're just gonna put some shading. All right, so I just went and grabbed a piece of MDF, and I'll just kind of like move it around the design as I need to. Looking for my tape. Actually, I'm gonna put it on and then put the wood down because I want to make sure I get it good and centered. All right, so my secret for getting things like where they need to be is you need to like be up, like bird's eye view, and really be looking down on it. Make sure it's nice and flat. And you could even like measure. I think that's about right. Could maybe go. Or like measure, you know. Actually, you could probably go up a teeny bit. I feel like it's better for it to be a little too high than like a little too low, because we're gonna lose like an inch in this one. All right, and now I'm just gonna tape it down. Now we're gonna slide her on in. Ooh, I think that's gonna work good. I actually think that's gonna transfer so much better. I'm gonna make like a few lines. Yeah, it's transferring okay. It's not great, but I don't think it's gonna be great. Now, when you remove this, do it really slow, because if you forget something and you just like rip this thing off, you're never going to be able to line it back up. So kind of like as you do it, you're like revealing. You're like, okay, the legs are here. All right, we have the round edge. We have the bottom of the ears. This one little bit of tape is being a real stinker. I win! Okay. Yeah, like I forgot the mouth. See? It's like there's 5 lines on here and I still forgot something. But it's kind of hard when you're like have black lines. If I was smart, maybe I should do this next time. Print it in like a light color, like light pink, light blue. So then your black pen or whatever you use, you can see it. You know what? I love it so much. It looks like even wonkier and like more folksy and stuff than I think the drawing, which is like, I don't like things to look too good, you know? And it's like I have to constantly battle my perfectionism to try to make things look a little more like folksy or artsy or outsider. It's definitely kind of like, you kind of have to like pack it in. It doesn't go into it very evenly. Okay, hi. It's a new day, full of possibilities. So I did a little homework this morning while I was having my tea, my morning tea, and having my morning YouTube. What's your morning YouTube? Or afternoon YouTube? What YouTubes are you diving into right now? I've been really into Rachel Maxey, Kathleen Illustrated, and I've recently just started, I just found Bernadette Banner, who makes Victorian clothes, and she did an OnlyFans account for saucy Victorian ankle pics, and I just thought it was so funny. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of like sewing content lately for whatever reason. I just like to watch people make things. I really like Rachel Maxey's home content too. But anyway, my cat, if you hear a bell, it's because an angel is getting, my cat found like a little jingle bell and she's playing with it. And then she just jumped into a box and then the box flipped over. Yeah, so we're just gonna have a bell ringing in the background. So that'll be very festive. So I have a few different medium finishes, but I really wanted it to not really have any shine. So I tried this golden matte medium and then this Mod Podge satin. So I coated this with the matte medium, and it doesn't look like anything's on it. So I'm kind of curious about, I might try the satin. Like I'm feeling quite brave. And because I kind of feel like if I hate it, then I can just go over it with the matte medium. And it really doesn't have a finish on it at all. So, so that's what I'm gonna do today. But first, this is not hospitable. This is not a hospitable, it's a hospital. It's not hospitable. It's a hospital for paint. So I'm going to clean this mess up a little bit before I work anymore. So let's do that. Okay. I just had like a fun idea. What if I figured out a way to make these available to download and y'all could make your own pillows? Would you be into that? Let me figure that out. I'm not the biggest tech daddy in the world. I feel like Google Drive is the answer to that. But I'll look into it and I will let you know in the outro where you can find it. Wow. Aren't you so impressed with how fast I clean? I'm like, this is still perfectly good. This is totally a usable roll of paper towels. Just out doing adult responsibilities and I feel very proud of myself because going to Staples to drop off UPS packages is like the bane of my existence. And I had to get paint. I had to do 3 stops. Ugh. My day is, it's like 1 in the afternoon. My day is done. Dawn. Okay. Let's get into it. Oh, there's freaking kitty prints on this. My little trinket cat is very naughty. All right, so I ended up doing the, I did 2 coats of the satin. And I think it looks really good. I think just having that little bit of gloss made it... Oh no. Damn it. You know what? Look, it's soaked through. And I was thinking, oh, it won't soak through because it has the paint on it. I did. I was like, I should use the wood on that. And I was like, it'll be fine because it has paint on it. But all the lines where there's no paint on it, it leaked through. For some reason, like this pillow was like my most cursed pillow because look, I got paint on it here. I went off the lines there and then the back is fudged up. But who cares? This one, I like got a little heavy-handed and maybe it's also because it had the matte on it as well. And I think it's like a little bit like too shiny or cloudy or something. But we're just going to move on with our lives. All right, so the next step I am going to do is turn these inside out, get out my sewing machine, and sew them up, stuff them, and then maybe hand sew them, probably hand sew them. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to like clean up this mess and stuff. And when I return, there will be a sewing machine. Okay, bye. we're gonna do some sewing. Yeah, this is, look, so when you make yours at home, which I know you're all gonna do, and then also you're gonna tag me because I wanna see what you guys make. Make sure you put the wood in even when you seal, because although this one didn't soak all the way through, but you can see it did soak through, like some of the paint did soak through the initial. So I'm gonna sew this for those of you who have maybe never made a pillow, who didn't benefit from the home ec educational system as I did, the very important home ec education. I'm gonna do probably like let's call it 2/3 or 3/4, about that much. Super easy, and what a fun, easy project this has been. I maybe did this one a little bit too small, but that's fine. You guys, how cute is this? Very satisfying project. I would probably suggest leaving this a little more open than I did, because it does kind of like, this kind of got like wrinkled. It kind of put wrinkles in it. It didn't crack though, but it probably would be better to not put any, you know, extra unnecessary strain on the design. Like this, it's probably not the best, happiest thing. Another home ec thing I learned in home ec, you just use the scissors and you push the corners out with the scissors. Yeah, I wish that they didn't have these wrinkles in them, but they do. And that's just gonna have to be okay. This one's a little bit easier to turn inside out because the fabric is thinner. Cool. How fun and exciting. All right, it's time for us to get real PG-13 while I stuff this Christmas goose. All right, you don't want to see this. I'm gonna stuff these suckers up and then I'll come back. Okay, bye. Ugh, that was so annoying. I don't know. It probably didn't take an hour. It took 2 YouTube videos. So, I don't know. I think it took 45 minutes. Or an hour. I don't know. It felt like 8,000 years. But it's okay. I did survive, barely. And now we have pillow. We have pillow. They're very lumpy, but I think once they're sewed up, I can kind of like, you know. Okay, so here we are. We've got this little hole doodad that we need to sew on up. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's get to it. All right, I'm gonna show you how to tie a knot do like this and you put it diagonal. And then you go diagonal like that, so it's an X. And then you kind of roll your fingers together. And then I kind of switched fingers, but it doesn't matter. And then you pull it down. And you have a little tiny knot. And probably if I was really fancy, I'd hide that knot on the inside, but I'm just not going to. And I'm not gonna pin it or anything. I'm just gonna I'm gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it. And I don't know stitch names or anything. I'm just kind of like going in and out. This one's called an innie-outie stitch, actually. That's what I said it was called. It's kind of awkward. I'm like in an awkward position right now, trying to film and do this. Okay, this is how you do a knot. You go like this and you kind of do like a little stitch on one side. Like that. This is such a short piece of thread too, I can barely do it. And then you wrap it around and then push it through. And I'm just gonna do 2 of those. And then snip it off. And I'm gonna snip these ones too. Okay. There you have it. It looks fine. It's not like, you know, anything fancy, but it'll do. It'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. All right, so I was gonna be done with that, but then I found these 2 bib bops at the TJ Maxx, and so I think it'd be cute to add some trim. Okay, so in order to figure out how much I need, I'm just literally gonna go like this. And I feel like having too much in this situation is better than not enough. All right, so I figured out that this was the best way to do this. I did the green pillow first and I tried to do it laying down, and it was just kind of a nightmare because gravity. So you can see what I'm doing here. It's just like, you don't want to put too much hot glue down because it dries pretty quickly. So, you know, like I'm getting pretty brave there, but yeah, just, you know, 1 inch, 2 inches, something like that. And yeah, I held the pillow between my legs, and that really made a big difference because gravity just kind of held the trim in place. Second location, second location. Hello. How did we do? What do you think? I'm pleased as punch. These things, so cute, so easy. Feel like they are so unique and fun and different, and I can't wait to make a million more. And with that, we have completed another YouTube video. I've started doing like a little like recollection. Let's say I'm recollectioning. And and I'm just thinking about some of the videos that maybe I made at the end of last year or the beginning of this year that are still on the channel and I should probably take down because they're really bad. And I think it's really easy for me, but probably for many people, to like just focus on where you want to be. Like I'm very critical of the work that I do, and you know, just being like, oh, I wish this was different or that, or I don't, there's so many things I don't know how to do with filmmaking. And I think it's really important. This time of year is really, really important for me because I do look back and I'm like, a year ago today, I didn't even have a camera. I actually just, took my lens off and cleaned it. And I remember when my camera came, I bought it used and it came with a few different lenses and everything was packaged separately. And, the lenses were all in their individual boxes and stuff. And, I did not know how to put the lens on. Like there were so many like basic skills, photography skills that I did not have at all. So that's just pretty funny. And it makes me feel excited for like what's happening with the channel next, And specifically, one of the things I've been thinking about is that when you make stuff for other people, there's a real demand for perfection and craftsmanship. And it can definitely bring up a lot of issues if you're already a people pleaser. So one of the things I've been kind of thinking about is how I kind of monetize everything I make, and it all sort of has to, I'm like, how can I sell this? And how that actually negatively affects my creativity in that, number one, I never feel like anyone, probably ever, but I mean, I'm sure there are some people, but it's pretty rare that anyone who makes anything is actually getting paid what it's worth, right? So then I'm kind of like, what are ways that I can cut corners and make this thing simpler, less detailed, less, whatever, in order to be able to produce it easier and faster to make it, to be able to sell it for a reasonable price. Yeah, these are just some thoughts that have been coming up for me like around my own work, and the fact that like with this channel, I can just focus on me projects, which is something like I never do. It's almost like every minute of my time has to be spent doing projects that I can then turn around and sell, right? And I don't actually love that. I do it because I don't really have another choice, as a disabled person. Like I'm always trying to come up with ways to make money, whether that's like flipping vintage toys or, making stuff and selling it on Etsy, or, I mean, I've like posted online to wrap presents, not this year, but I have in years past. Like I am always trying to contribute to my household. And I'm just realizing like making work like that I don't love it. And I really am only doing it for money, you know? I mean, I'm sure you're like, yeah, Allison, like everyone does everything they do for money. Like, but I'm just kind of excited with this channel that I can just make videos making the things like I want to make, and I can put as much time and energy and thought and creativity in them because I don't have to make any kind of profit. I can spend $200 hours making a masterpiece and just be like, this is all for me. And if I want to sell it someday, cool. But like, you know, just making things without the intention of selling them, and how different that is, you know? So I don't know. These are the thoughts that are kind of coming up as we approach, you know, the end of the year. But I have plans. Like I've been like scheming and dreaming of ideas for videos, and I'm really excited about 2025. And I'm really excited about YouTube. So if you want to stick around and you like this content, it's only going to get better and cooler and funner, and who knows where we will go. But please consider subscribing and liking and commenting and sharing with all your favorite cool people. And let's be best friends. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.